Hi, I'm Ashlee Marie. Last year I made a video with 4 different kinds of pie crusts and easy instructions for them all, and this year I'm making 4 different kinds of pies. A twist on a classic pumpkin pie, a twist on a pecan pie, this lemon sour cream, my favorite, and a coconut cream pie. Don't forget to subscribe. We have a lot of holiday recipes coming up, and let's get started. The first pie that I'm going to make is a twist on the classic pumpkin pie. It has all the elements of a classic pumpkin pie, a nice flaky American crust, pumpkin, spices, all of that jazz, but it kind of has a cheesecake twist to it without being a full-blown cheesecake. It's kind of like a half and half. The first thing we want to do is the cheesecake. It's nice and softened. And then we're going to add some sugar to that. And some flour. Now we're actually going to take about a 1/3 cup of this out and put it off to the side. Now we're going to add some eggs, the pumpkin, and of course the spices. This is cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and some ground cloves. And I have a beautiful flaky pie crust all ready to go. Now I have a full video on all of the pie crust that I'm using today from last year. You can check out in the description box down below or that little itty bitty eye up in the corner. Now we're gonna take that filling and pour it into our pie crust. Notice I have a pumpkin shaped pan. It's kind of a fun thing to do for my pumpkin pies. Now we're going to take that 1/3 cup of cream cheese that we had left, add a tablespoon of milk to it. We're going to mix that together. And now we're going to put little plops of this on top of our pie. Then you want to swirl it with the back of a knife. Now with some of the extra dough, I cut out some leaves with some leaf cookie cutters. We're going to add those to the top of our pie. And it's ready to go in the oven. And now our pumpkin cream cheese pie is done baking. We're going to let it cool. It will shrink a little bit, and then we're going to put it in the fridge overnight. Now it's time for my all-time favorite pie, sour cream lemon. This is not only my favorite, it's everyone in my family's favorite. So I usually make 2, one for me and one to share. All right, to get started with this, we're gonna add the sugar. We're gonna add some cornstarch. And we're gonna add about a tablespoon of lemon zest. And before we add any of the wet ingredients, I'm gonna give this a stir just to kind of break up all that lemon zest. Now we're gonna add the lemon juice. We're gonna add a cup of milk and 3 egg yolks. And again, we're gonna whisk all this together. Pop the yolks. Just give it a good stir. And we're gonna turn this on. We're going to cook it around medium temperature. Now this is nice and thick, and the first thing we're going to do is strain it just to make sure that nothing that shouldn't be in there is in there. And now we're gonna add the butter. Now you can use cold butter, you can use room temperature butter. Personally, I use frozen butter because it will help this cool faster, and I'm impatient. So at this point, we basically have lemon curd. That's what this is. And it tastes amazing. So in order to turn it into a sour cream lemon pie, we're gonna take our lemon curd and add a bunch of sour cream. Oh yeah. This smells so good. And it tastes good too. Now this is a pâte sucrée crust that I have blind baked, and we're gonna add our filling to now. Now this is ready to go in the fridge overnight, and tomorrow we're gonna add some stabilized whipped cream to the top. Next is a twist on the classic pecan pie. This is a kind of caramelized pecan tart, and I think it is so much better. Because it's a tart, it's thinner, and so while it's caramely still and pecan-y, I don't love that full thickness of those pecan pie pieces, but I love this. Now it's made with a pâte sablé crust, so it is just divine from the beginning to the end, and it's so simple to make. All these 6 ingredients, we're just gonna mix together. Let's start with the sugar and an egg and a half. Oop, almost spilled that. Vanilla, melted butter, and some corn syrup. We're gonna stir this really good. Get it nice and smooth before we add the pecans. All right, now the pecans. Now this is a pâte sablé crust, and again, I have that other video that talks all about all these crusts from last year. Go watch it, tons of tips and tricks. Just fill it. All right, now this will puff up a little as it cooks and get taller, and then it will shrink again. I cannot wait. This is seriously one of my absolute favorites. It's one of my most requested from my family as well. And our pecan tart is finished. We're just gonna pop it out. There we go. Look how beautiful that crust turned out. Oh, just lovely. And finally, another favorite around here, and that is coconut cream pie. So we're gonna start with some salt, some cornstarch, and we're gonna whisk it together just to kind of break up that cornstarch a little. And I'm gonna add my milk and whipping cream mixture. This is half a cup of whipping cream and a cup of milk. Whisk that together, and now add our coconut milk. And whisk that together. And we're gonna turn that on to medium, and we're gonna cook it over medium until it starts to boil. Now, while we're waiting for that to heat up, we're going to take a bowl of egg yolks, add some sugar to it, and we're gonna whisk it until it is light and ribbony. I'm actually gonna hold this one because it's easier that way. And as you can see, it's lightened up a lot. It's nice and rich looking. A little bit longer. All right, this looks good. And now this is ready to be tempered when our liquid is up to temperature. All right, so this is thick and bubbling. And now we're gonna add it to our eggs. All right, once the eggs are tempered, we want to add it, hot. We want to add it back to the saucepan. All right, and you want to start stirring right away. We don't want to let that cook the eggs at all. And we want to just bring it back up to a boil. Now it's starting to boil again. So we're gonna give it a stir and take it off the heat. And with any custard, you wanna make sure that you strain it. You don't wanna accidentally get any cooked egg inside your final product. Now we wanna add some butter, some vanilla, and then I have two kinds of coconut. I have unsweetened shredded coconut. I like the texture of it, I like the flavor of it, but I like a little bit of extra sweetness to this as well. So then I have just a half a cup of the regular sweetened coconut, but I've ground it up in my food processor so it's nice and fine, just like the shredded coconut, because I don't want there to be any stringy chunks of coconut in this. And then stir that together till the butter's melted. Now this is a blind baked pâte sucrée crust just like I used for the sour cream lemon pie. I had this little bit too close to my hot spot and it got a little bit overcooked, but it will still taste amazing. We're just gonna pour our filling right inside. And now this is also going in the fridge overnight to finish setting, and it will be ready to serve with some fresh whipped cream tomorrow. It's the next day. Our pies have all set. They are ready to decorate and serve. So I have made some stabilized whipped cream. Now stabilized whipped cream is a heavy whipping cream that you have whipped with your own vanilla and sugar to whatever preference that you like, and then you add some gelatin to it, and the gelatin will help hold all those air bubbles and will help hold its shape. Now that doesn't mean it won't melt. It will still melt, but it will take longer to melt. And it's pipeable, it's strong enough to hold its form. If you refrigerate it, the stabilized whipped cream won't separate at all, it won't dissolve. It's great, and it will stand out on the counter a lot longer than regular whipping cream would. It just, if you put it out someplace hot, it will still melt. So just word of warning. All right, so for this coconut one, I'm just going to pipe around the edge. While this lemon one, I'm actually going to cover with the stabilized whipped cream, kind of spread it out a little bit more. And then I'm going to take a lemon and that same zester and just do some fine zesting over the top. Now the pumpkin pie is ready to serve just as is. And we're all finished. Now I picked these 4 pies because they are so simple and so delicious. These pies are always a hit at any party or event that you go to. Leave me a comment down below letting me know what your favorite pie is. It doesn't have to be one of these 4, just what's your favorite pie, because next year I'm gonna make 4 new pies for the holidays. So I want some suggestions, so let me know if there's a pie out there that you just think is the world's best pie that I have got to try, or just something that maybe is super unique or kind of strange, because I like unique and strange as well. Anyway, these pies are just always a hit. They're not gonna last long. My kids are just waiting on the sideline for me to be done filming this so they can all eat some. So now comes my favorite part of the video, when I get to eat. Okay, so we will just go around the world. We'll start with the pumpkin. Okay, now the reason that I like this is I love a good classic pumpkin pie. In fact, one year for my birthday, I actually had pumpkin pie instead of a birthday cake, which obviously I am a cake person, so that tells you how much I love this pie. But something about the texture of pumpkin pie as I've gotten older just hasn't really resonated with me. But a pumpkin cheesecake can sometimes be a little bit too strong. So this is the best of both worlds. It has the creaminess of a cheesecake without being too heavy, and then it has the great flavor of the pumpkin. I love it so much. It's so good. Now, you can eat it plain, you can eat it a la mode, you can eat it with whipped cream. Now we're gonna go for the coconut. Coconut is one of my all-time favorite flavors, and so that's why this is always on my list. And my other all-time favorite flavor is lemon. Now, if you like tangy and you like citrus, you will love this pie. I probably make this lemon pie 10 or 12 times a year easily. And now for the pecan. I just love pecans. I know I say that about every single one of these, that I love it, but I really, really do. This is my mom's new favorite. The reason that I started making this is because she's a pecan pie lover, but I didn't love pecan pie, so I wanted kind of a twist of it, and this is her new favorite. This is probably the one recipe on my entire history of blogging and YouTubing that my mom actually has asked me for. Anyway, I love the holidays. I love desserts. I hope that you do as well. Give me a thumbs up if you love Thanksgiving as much as I do. I actually have created a Thanksgiving cookbook with 43 from scratch recipes, including pies and drinks and my turkey and sides. I have things like green bean casserole with no cream of anything in it, just a lot of ooey gooey cheese and goodness. And then I have Brussels sprouts that I actually ate with apples and of course bacon fried on the stove, and my individual sweet potatoes. My boys actually asked for seconds. Who does that? What boy likes sweet potatoes? So if you love from scratch homemade Thanksgiving recipes and you're interested, they'll be linked down below. Also the little eye in the corner and probably a little box in the bottom at the end of the video. Make it easy for you to find. I love Thanksgiving so much. I love pies and desserts so much that one Thanksgiving I actually made 8 different desserts. Now, this was not a Thanksgiving that I was hosting anyone. It was just us, just our family. That's more desserts than there are people in our family, and one of them was a 1-year-old. So clearly, this is something that I'm obsessed with. Don't forget to check out the pie crust video that has the tutorial for all these pie crusts, along with how to make them easy peasy. And thanks so much for watching.